What's up, everybody? Welcome to Daily Refinement. This is our conversation about how to stay focused while listing and also how to make time to think about your eBay future, which is going to be either replenishables for some people, which is selling similar items or the exact same item over and over again and moving away from the one-off model. Or maybe you want to be a category seller and you're all in one category. And I call that specialization. And that is traditionally specialization or replenishables would be how you make six figures or more. Very difficult to make six figures selling one-off items. You're chasing making $100 profit versus making hundreds of dollars of profit every day. So um, before we get into that, I want to talk about that. Just if you want to be happy as an eBay seller, because unfortunately most resellers that I know are really unhappy, and I think it's because they live and die by what they find. You're putting your value in what you find, and so you have to keep looking for something to replenish your value, which is what you find. But if you're really good at selling itself, then doesn't matter what you find. You're just happy all the time because you have that high skill level in your category. I was talking to a gentleman yesterday and he's always bouncing around from one thing to another. And I told him yesterday, you have a 100% chance of failure in anything that you do because you're doing so many different things. Every time somebody has an idea, you think it's a great idea, you jump on. You're not good at anything. You're just going to be miserable for the rest of your life. The opposite of that is just getting good at one thing. Then you can be good at anything. You can translate that skill into anything. If I told Matt people don't wear jeans anymore, he would just sell something else. He wouldn't give up and he wouldn't bounce around from one thing to another. He would just think about things, pick one, and then get good at it. In fact, Matt, as much as you don't like female jeans, I'm sure that you could do a business that's just women's jeans. You could be, and your confidence comes from being good at it. So I want to talk about what Robin brought up before the call, which was how do you stay focused on listing? I'm going to give you guys an example real quick. So for me, I have drafts built. So I come here and there's a couple things I do. I click on this resume drafts tab and I edit all of them at the same time. That's if like I'm doing all dress shirts or all jeans. I might go in there and add a couple item specifics that are for all of them in a row, or I'll open up each one of these individually and knock them out. And what I do is I just knock out every single one in a row. I just do all my listing at once. Um, in my daily tasks here, this is what I do. I check Seller Hub. I respond to all offers. I review all the orders. Actually, let me reorder this because actually there's one that's missing, which is before review orders, which is check all customer service messages. So review all the offers, check the messages, then I review the orders, then I launch 200 drafts. So I just do them all in a row. And I think that I'm just focused on getting that number done. So I'm not really distracted. I think if you don't have an exact number, it's easy to get distracted because you just put, um, do some listings and that's not specific enough. I think people don't go. Accountability is important for some people. So I'm going to start adding in right after I launch the drafts, post the accountability. Then I want to ship all first class and priority, then cubic. Then I want to send offers to watchers between 5 and 15%. I want to remove out of stock options. I want to make my ID labels for the next day, which is my inventory system. That's my eBay day. So um, I think for me, having 200 drafts as the goal is my mission. And I think everyone could really, really improve their listing if they just think of it as a game instead of like something that you hate, right? Maybe it's a game that you're trying to master and get really good at it. How fast could you do a listing? You know, Steve in the chat is saying he doesn't agree with that. What do you not agree with? Also, this channel is not called My Opinion is Important. It's just my opinion and other people's opinions. So you don't have to agree with anything on this channel. You can unsubscribe. Actually, it's fine. Um, Matt, do you consider eBay a game? Why are you so consistent at listing? You list 50 to 70 items a day and Some people struggle to do 5.
Yeah, it's a game. That's what it is. It's a game. It's you're just trying to get better every day.
So do you look at it like you can get a better score today? Like you're looking at all the rules of the game. I think you do look at it like literally like a board game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I've never really thought of it as a game, but that's what I do. I'm just trying to make it better every day, you know. That's really the I don't know.
So
I lost that thought. Sorry.
there's I looked up the definition of passion, and passion is just something that you do and then you want to do it again. That's sort of the definition, the broad definition of passion. So if you're really good at something, the chances of you wanting to do it again is really high. That's why people say, don't worry so much about what you love. I don't know if you have a passion for jeans, but
I have a passion for getting the most out of something,
yeah, there you go.
discovering the most efficient way to do something. That's my passion. So
Yeah.
I
So it could
hate
be, so
working in the business because it's jeans, but I love working on the business.
there you go. I love that mentality of doing it that way. Justin, do you have a thought? We'll come back to Justin. Cheryl, do you want to talk about your listing focus? How is your listing focus on a scale of 1 to 10? How focused are you when you're listing?
Um, since I started doing text method, I've gotten a lot more focused, and because I've narrowed down, so I batch what I'm listing. So if I'm listing jeans, for instance, then I'm listing like all of my men's jeans at one time or all women's jeans at one time. And because it's a smaller, um, because it's one category, it makes it easier to get it done, and I've gotten a lot faster at it.
That's a good point. Like you can't be good at all games. So if you just pick one and get good at it, this is like the Tony Robbins was saying, if any one of us started playing video games against a kid who was maybe 8 to 10 years old who played it all the time, you would lose because they understand the rules and they've practiced it. So it's the same thing. When you get really good at your niche and you look at the other listings, they have no chance against yours. You have better photos, better description, better title. They can't compete. So that's when you look at the platform, 90% of the listings are horrible on eBay. Maybe more. They're so bad. Like there's no standardization. So I want everyone that's listening right now, and I think that the people think of listing as work, and people are allergic to work. They don't like work. So instead of that, think of it as something else, something that you like to go do. Think of it as having some beers. People love doing that. People love eating junk food. So maybe that's just reassociate it, reframe it. Don't think of it as something you dread. Um, so I definitely want to talk about what keeps people focused today, because that's going to be the key. Matt, you have a lot going on, family, different stuff. How do you stay focused? And then we'll talk about the how to move in the replenishables.
I think I stay focused. I try to remind myself why I'm doing it. If you lose focus on that, I think you can get burned out. Now, I think the thing that I'm learning with being on the group here is if you kind of set small targets, work your way to bigger ones. It's funny that we're talking about focus because I've got a chart on my wall now about what I want to list each day, the amount, and it's a 10-week 10-week goal, and we'll see how I do. And we'll see if my listing habits increase. And then I'm trying to refine a 5-year plan that involves automation. So I think there comes a point where you have to just step back and balance everything. So I would say the way I keep focus is to remind myself why I'm doing it. I encourage my family around me why we're doing it. So that's the best way I can explain it.
I love that thought of taking a step back to look at your business to see if what you're doing is getting you closer or not. So if your goal is so yesterday, a gentleman I was talking to, he said his goal to live the life he wants to live, he has to make $250,000 a year. So I'm like, okay, great, no problem. That's your goal. What are you doing right now to get towards that goal? And he listed like 8 or 9 things that he's doing, and none of those things will produce a $250,000 income. So I was like, any one of those things that that you came up with, any of those could reach that income level. But the fact that you're doing all 7 of them at the same time, none of them will even produce a full-time income for you. You're just cobbling together all these random incomes. So if you think about your goal of 250K, that's $125 an hour. That's a specialist. There are no, you can't do $125 an hour every hour if it's always something different. Like this week, we talked a lot to George, and George was talking about monster margins, awesome margins, but it's hard to do that 8 hours in a row. But if you're just doing the same thing, the best example I can think of is just a locksmith. All locksmiths make over $100 an hour, all of them. And anybody can do that. It doesn't require a college degree, and it's a super needed skill. You could open up a locksmith company today, just get a Yelp listing, and someone will call you because they locked their keys out of their house. It's really highly specialized. So that it's almost like you need an hour a day minimum, like Matt goes on a walk, to think about what you're doing moving you to the next goal. And it doesn't have to be as long as a walk. It could just be while you're showering. I run that group with Facebook group with Tech and Sports, and he usually texts me after a shower because he's come up with some idea to make the group better. So it's just shower ideas. When you're not working, you can think about how you work and is it getting closer or not. And that's when you start working on replenishables and categories. And those are the same thing. So if you were in the fitness accessories category, you would sell workout gloves. You'd sell workout those balls that people sit on. You'd sell all those accessories, and you would start to figure out which ones sell well, which ones you like. That's how you would come up with a replenishable. The Real Posh Wife is asking me how long it takes me to make 200 drafts. So once I have the pictures and the description, I can do 1 a minute. So the drafting process takes 1 minute per draft. And it takes me, I can launch 25 drafts every 5 minutes. So I can launch 300 drafts in an hour. So let's see. How long does it take me? It takes me about 4 hours of listing to do. Once I have, what does that come out to? It's like, I want to say 30 to 50 an hour, something like that. That's how long it takes. It takes Bethany 5 minutes to create a listing. That's fast. That's similar to me because I would say I did the math yesterday. I can do 75 listings by myself. If I had a business, eBay business, what I'm doing right now, the maximum I could do is 75 a day. So Brenda says, I have lots to list, but what I do instead is source. That's very common. So, and that's I think, what do you guys think? Why do people do that? Matt? Brenda has plenty of stuff to list, but she doesn't do that. She goes sourcing instead. This is probably 80% of people who listen to my channel.
That's a good question. For me, it's just back to what I was just saying. I love working on the business, not in the business. And to me, all of that is in the business. So
That's
I would
right, in the
not want to
business.
do any of it. Not even the sourcing.
Makes sense. On the business and not in the business. Agreed. But you're good at working in the business. You're not. Sometimes I feel like I only work on the business. You got to be good at both.
I'm a natural born killer, man.
I love it.
Genetics or something. I don't know. I'm kidding. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I just got a lot of energy, man. I'm still young.
That's true. It's easy. It's more fun to source. I used to think it was more fun to source until my bank account grew from listing. Now I think it's more fun to list. So I don't know. It's interesting looking at that. I totally thought list or sourcing was fun until I realized it doesn't make you any money really. JB says people source because they think they're going to miss a home run if they don't. Bill says sourcing is less constraining, less defined, and requires no planning or thinking. Maybe that's true. People don't like to think, so they don't sit down, think about what to do, and then do it. People like treasure hunting. Oh, okay. So 75 listings is solo, me doing the entire thing. No VA, no helpers. If I just did what I currently do all for 8 hours, I could do 75 listings, this is including customer service, putting everything back. So it's less than 10 an hour. Isaiah says there's a huge dopamine response when you find something rare special. That's a good point, Isaiah. Thank you for bringing that up. That's how social media is designed. It's designed as a slot machine. You log on to Instagram or Facebook and you don't know what you're going to see. Thrift store set up like that too. You go and you don't know what you're going to find. So people are addicted to dopamine. MN says sourcing is the fun, easy part. But I think listing is easier because it's the same thing every time. Sourcing is not easier, but it's more fun. Karen says she gets her dopamine from a sale. Maddie Matt's trying to make listing relaxing. So I need some help, guys. I don't have a comfortable chair. I think it's a huge problem. When I go to the office, I only have a standing desk, but I would like to have a nice chair. I feel like that would help. So maybe you guys have some recommendations for.
I agree. I'm sitting on an upside down trash can. It sucks.
Yeah, I'm because you spend more time sitting in your chair than you do in your car. It's the most important piece of furniture, actually. If you can sit your ass in a comfortable chair for a little bit longer over the course of your entire life, that's millions of dollars, maybe. Ed?
Herman Miller Aeron.
I'm sitting in one. I don't like it.
You're kidding.
Yeah, I don't like it.
That's the king. That's the best.
It's supposed to be the king, and I don't know. Maybe I just have a problem. And I don't like work, but I just don't like this. I hate this chair. I don't hate it, but it's like it doesn't. It's supposed to be the king.
I'll give you $200 for it.
I know, right? I'll tell you the chairs that I've sat in that are the most comfortable are baby rocking chairs. Those things are insane. Those are the most comfortable chairs I've ever sat in. I wonder if they could convert that into a work chair.
Chris, I keep getting this ad for this new chair that is like, I can't remember what it's called. It's like a yoga chair. It like the arms and the back and everything like adjusts in all different directions so that as you shift around the way you're sitting throughout the day, you can shift the chair to support you. If it comes up again, I'll let you know. It's okay. Super cool looking. But what do you like? Like, do you have a tall desk? Do you have a short desk? Do you like to perch? Do you like to lean back? Like, what is comfortable sitting for you?
I have an adjustable desk, but adjustable height desk, but I would love to sit and it's as comfortable as one of those baby rocking chairs. Because it's like when people say I love my bed, I get into it and I just fall. I've tried I never have that feeling.
But those baby rocking chairs are meant to put babies to sleep. So will you just fall asleep if you have a super comfy chair?
I don't know. I'm just saying I'm unsatisfied with my chair.
Yeah, my husband has a chair I got him from IKEA, and it's actually a stool, but the top of it pivots because he has a standing desk that he doesn't like to drop down. but so that way he can kind of like rest on it, and it pivots with him. So if he wants to like lean forward a little bit, the whole seat leans forward instead of him having to like, you know, have like a hard edge of a seat on the back of his leg or whatever. That's pretty cool.
Sorry to change the topic. Somebody is asking, how long does it take? Or Sam is asking, what's the fastest way to list? So when I add it all up, start to finish, it's 4 minutes faster to do it on the PC than it is to do it on my phone. But it's still fast, under 10 minutes with my phone too. So there's no excuse for people to not list 5 items an hour with your cell phone. You should be able to list 5 items an hour with your cell phone, start to finish, with the pictures.
I think the reason why the computer is a bit faster, because I've done both like a ton. And the first thing that I noticed that made my computer listing faster was that it auto generates the things. You can like click them individually. Like when you have the listing pulled up and you type in your title and it starts giving you the recommended things. When you're on the phone, it doesn't really do that. So and when you're trying to find those same item specifics, you'd have to click them by scrolling through and tapping them with your finger. So I think that's probably the biggest speed hack when it comes to the computer, in my experience at least.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's lots of reasons why the computer is faster than the phone. And the phone app is designed for consumers, not sellers. So everyone should keep that in mind. Tech and Sports says, don't get comfortable chairs. When George Costanza got the security guard at the bank a chair, the bank got robbed because the security guard fell asleep. Good to know. Everyone, you don't need a comfortable chair. You should just sit on a garbage can like Matt. But yeah, I have at work, I have no chairs, but I've offered the people who list or the photographer, they would rather not have chairs because they work faster without it. So they're not interested in being at work all day. They want to go in and get the work done and then leave. Let's see. Eyeball prefers bigger screen. Yeah, everyone should use a double monitor, I think. If you're researching the item in another tab, it saves you a lot of time. So this is a good point from Adrian, saying that your physical posture and movement patterns will affect you more than any chair will. That's probably true. Maybe I need to work on my posture and my movement patterns to help it be more of a comfortable space. Laptop or desktop? I think desktop is better. I prefer the actual keyboard. Do you guys use a laptop straight or do you use a regular keyboard? I mean, this stuff matters. People don't think it matters, but if you can work at your desk comfortably, you're going to make a lot more money. Yeah, Isaiah, I pay my workers the same if they finish early because they're contractors. So they get paid per piece. They get paid $20 for every 30 items. So they can get done. Yesterday, they both left at 4:45. And they started at 9. And they both did 300. Ed just got a vertical monitor for listing. I like that idea. No scrolling. Matt, that might be something that you invest in one day. That would save you a couple of scrolls per listing.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. I just bought a 36 or 32-inch monitor that's horizontal. So that's going to be a while. I would hate to get a new vertical one and then have that one collect dust.
Yeah, fair enough. Let's see. Working in kitchen chairs would slow us down, probably. Let's see. Laptop with a plugged-in keyboard. Yeah, that's great. If anyone's looking for a new computer, the new Mac Mini is a great deal for $669 at Costco. Maybe the best computer I've ever used. Plug a keyboard into that, $700 later, you've got an awesome computer. Robin?
Chris, do you use the Mac Mini with dual screens?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious to know, I'll ask you another time, which screens you're using. My husband purchased a Mac Mini for his dual screen setup, and it was not strong enough to run the screens.
You know, that is kind of a problem. I would say that there's not, it does run it, but I have the USB-C to HDMI converter, and it's not the best.
Yeah,
Not the
he's got
best,
like
but
the
it's okay.
whole thing. So now he's just running his laptop like it's a computer tower.
Yeah.
I do stand up for listing a lot of the time because I fall asleep on the couch otherwise, or I fall asleep at the table. Like I fall asleep all over town.
That's, you know, the table that I work best at is a kitchen table. So, I mean, versus a desk. So, but it's not convenient to do that. And I don't even have one in this place. So, but standing is, I don't know if you should stand for listing. Also, one more thought. Everyone I know that lists and makes a lot of money on eBay, no one lists more than 4 hours. Matt, do you list more than 4 hours? No.
No, I can't work more than 4 hours, man. Because when I do work, I work hard. So I don't like working more than 4 hours.
But yeah, exactly. So for everyone thinking about the efficiencies, you could be really uncomfortable for 4 hours a day, no problem. That's fine. It's not like you're working all day. You can make 6 figures listing 4 hours a day, no problem. If you actually were working, it's just, let's see. Most monitors can be turned sideways to be vertical. That's true. That's true, Matt. Your monitor probably has that setting. You just need a different stand for it. Let's see. What else helps people stay on track? Patty, how do you avoid distraction?
Medication. Honest to God, that's the answer.
Well, what kind of medication helps you focus?
Oh, I honestly truly diagnosed with ADHD. So
got you.
That's honest to God, it's medication. I wish I could lie, but otherwise I'm like a squirrel. I'm in 20 million different directions. And I guess part of the ADHD is you get hyper focused. So if I can get hyper focused on one thing, then that's awesome because that's when I knock out the most listings. But I can't get distracted. Like if somebody interrupts me, then then forget it. Then it's just done.
Is there a way to create a distraction-free environment for you?
Yeah, for my kids to go back to school and my husband to go back to work full time.
But do you
have by myself?
Do you have a room or anything you can set up?
Well, no, I mean, the whole basement is basically my eBay business. So, I'm,
But does anyone come down there and bother you?
Yeah, you'll see my husband if he.
I've seen your husband in there. Yeah.
Yeah. My husband will come down and because he'll get an idea and he wants to come down and talk to me, and so we've kind of talked about it. That I've said I'm not trying to be mean or rude to you. If I'm focused on something, you've just got to let me finish it, and when I'm done, I'll come and talk to you. Who is it in the group that was saying he hands his wife a note? So now it's he may just be upstairs, but it's send me a text message, and when I don't even like text messages because then my phone will ding and that'll distract me. So it's just hold off until I know when he has a break from work, and then I'll take my break at the same time and then do it that way. But
I have 9 apps on my phone.
Oh God.
I was just thinking. Well, because I think that a lot of people, I don't know if I have ADHD or I'm just easily bored. So that's why I like the idea of not having a lot of options. I can either look at my calendar, look at my notes, Skype, my virtual assistant. I can log into my computer with a remote desktop. I have the eBay. I do have the eBay app now because I like answering offers from the phone. Music, Audible. That's pretty much it right now. And my camera.
Yeah. When I take photos, I like to listen to Audible. If you guys haven't listened to Matthew McConaughey's book, that thing is phenomenal to listen to on Audible. Oh, well, I mean, because he's just a fantastic, he loves telling stories. So his stories are, I mean, my husband like came downstairs and he was like, why are you laughing so hard? And I'm like, sorry, I'm listening to Matthew McConaughey's book. Like
that guy is awesome. He is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, just, yeah, it's a great book. But anyways, Audible, absolutely, I listen to while I'm taking photos. When I'm listing, I tend not to have anything on because I'm trying to pay attention to the details, which is just, you know, hard for me sometimes. But yeah, no, I'm trying to cut down. I'm doing your theory on Facebook, especially with the group, is like make a comment and then you're done. Like
that is the best hack. I hate Facebook. You know that Tech and Sports has been asking me to do this Facebook group for 4 years, and I didn't want to do it because I don't like Facebook.
Yeah, I know you've said that. Like,
and now I have, I'll show you how I use it. It's the best. This is how I use Facebook now, and it's the best way to use it ever. So I have it saved. Post accountability in progress. I click this link. It pulls up Facebook. There's no news feed. I just scroll down. I read some ideas like, here we go. This guy's talking about a shipping thing. Mark's talking about he sourced 123 items in an hour and 20 minutes. This is all relevant to my industry because I'm a reseller. So I go in here, look at people's numbers, and then I post something and then I leave. This has been so awesome. And I like on my profile, I even put not active on Facebook, email me. This is 3 years ago. You know, the last post was in 2017 was barbecue with a friend. I literally don't use Facebook. I love it. It's such a time suck.
Yeah, so I've gotten off of Facebook. Not only that, but some of the stuff just stresses me out. You know, everybody's saying stuff. So, I mean, I'll check it on weekends to see like what's going on around the area. You know, if there's anything interesting to do. But yeah. Oh, somebody said something about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is phenomenal to listen to. I listen to Joe Rogan all the time. And Dan Crenshaw. I listen to a lot of podcasts. Dan Crenshaw's podcasts. I listen to. You know.
Well, but one more thought for everyone. An abundance of information creates a scarcity of attention. I don't know who said that, but I think there's so much information that like, I was thinking about what Jeff was saying. Jeff was like learning from Deca millionaires. He's also listening to people on this call. It was very confusing, right? To listen to people who have a net worth that's 10 figures and also listening to people who have a net worth of 3 figures in the same call. In the same day, you could listen to, like, you can actually listen to people who have a negative 6-figure net worth. If you go on Instagram, there are people who have more than $100,000 in debt, and also people who are worth tens of millions of dollars. It's so confusing. There probably should be some kind of course on how to. I guess it's weird to use an app to reduce social media consumption. That sounds so counterintuitive when you could just not use your phone.
But I do have a question for the group. Do you think, because I have, open to offers on all of my listings, and I've taken some just to kind of, I guess you could say, like, get the ball rolling in the mornings on eBay. Like, I'll take maybe like 1 or 2. But now it seems that like very few are buying it at the price that I have it. It's almost all like really low ball offers, and I keep declining them. Is that going to be like, is eBay going to be like, push you down on the listing because you're not taking them, or I don't know how it works.
No, I think that you get a boost. This is my theory. You get a boost in ranking every time something happens. So if you get an offer, then your item must be popular. If you counter offer your item, then you're playing ball, as Tech and Sports would say. If you decline and you stop the transaction, maybe I don't know if that hurts you, but I know it does help you if there's activity. So if you counter offer, it will help you. If you decline, maybe that's just the end of the transaction.
Okay, because I just feel like maybe they're just seeing that in my store I've accepted a lot of offers, so like nobody's gonna pay like full price. Because I was watching, you know, like Ashley like puts up a video and I'm watching it, and I was like, I had that exact item, but yet she's selling it for like $11 more. I'm like, how the hell is she getting people to pay $11 more?
She does something. She always talks about that. Like, most people ask 20 for this item, but I ask 30 because I really know what it's worth. That just comes down to selling the same thing. She just knows on certain items because she sold it before, and you can just, I guess, wait for that buyer. There's items that I have that I will wait for all the money, and other items that don't. Like, some items do not require best offer. Some items do.
So do you put everything on best offer or just almost
No.
everything?
Here's an example. This is I bought these at the flea market, right?
Right.
So I have 16 sold. I don't have best offer. I don't need best offer because they just sell. But if other items that are more these are discontinued, so there's not any more of them. So it depends on but I would say on items that are brand new, you don't need best offer, in my opinion, because there's already like a market value. But pre-owned items, you kind of have to have it because people want to bargain. Lloyd is asking, what percentage do I do free listing? Do you mean free shipping or free returns? Let's see. What percent shipping? What percentage do I do free shipping? I have less than 10 items in my store with free shipping out of 15,000. So hardly ever do I do free shipping. So 99% I charge shipping. Even on this fixed price listing, it's $35 plus shipping. I could do $43 free shipping because it's that's what they sell for. But JB Owens is saying he's afraid of getting a return on free shipping items. It just depends on what category you're in. Some categories, if you don't do free shipping, you won't sell anything. Some categories, you don't need it. If you're selling heavy industrial equipment, you would never need to do free shipping because it doesn't make sense. Lloyd's asking, doesn't eBay promote sellers that do free shipping? Yes, they recommend you do free shipping, free returns, free everything because it comes out of your pocket and not theirs. So of course they would love everyone to offer everything, but I haven't had any issues with charging for shipping. I do like the Forest app. If you do like apps, the Forest app is great. When you get the Forest app, you plant a tree. You're like, you tell the app how long you want to work for without using your phone. And if you use your phone, the tree dies and you feel like a terrible person. So it's a really good app for people who can't focus. So because the phone, like I tell most people, they should throw their phone into the ocean. Yeah. But if you want to use your phone, Forest app is a good one because most people don't like watching the tree die. And also, if you pick a bigger tree, it's more satisfying because it takes longer to grow. Kyle says, huge come up, found Golden Goose shoes over the weekend. The best practice to avoid being ripped off is to sell items that people don't rip you off on. Anytime you start selling luxury items or more expensive items, there's a lot more fraud. So you can't avoid it. With Golden Goose shoes, they're heavily faked because they're easy to fake because they just look like used Converse. So just be careful. Depends on if the brand will come after you or not. Shoes are the most faked item ever. So that category is rough. Cheryl said she switched to a camera to get the phone out of her hands. Good move. Let's see. Scott Eifler, do you have a comment? Your camera's on. I mean, your microphone's on.
Well,
What's going on? Well, you're on mute. Scott, you're on mute. No audio for Scott. We'll come back to you. Oh, wait. Maybe he can. We'll come back to you, Scott. Let's go, George Chavez. George, can you chat?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
What's your distraction level each day?
Pretty high. I've just, since I started doing this full time,
Yeah.
I'm the gardener. I'm the babysitter, the kid picker upper from school. So those things all tend to eat into my day. And now that the kids have started to go back to school, it's really put a huge, about a 3-hour gap in my day, right in the middle. Like at noon, I have to be there to pick up my older daughter at noon, and then my other daughter doesn't get out till 2. So it's take the older kids to the park for 2 hours and wait. So I started implementing just yesterday. I said I'm gonna set up a lot of drafts and take my laptop with me. Girls get to play. I'm gonna sit there and then do my editing and then list while I'm at the park for those 2 hours, because it was just a waste of, like you said, on my phone, not doing anything. So hopefully this will make use of that wasted time.
I mean, the 3-hour block in the middle of your day is great for your kids. I'm gonna have to take my kid to daycare and back, or school and back. And like I said, I think that the perfect eBay business might be 4 hours a day. I don't know if really you need to work more than that, because I mean, people pick eBay because it's not like a normal job. So maybe don't treat it like a normal job and just make the best you can out of 4 hours. And then you get 20 hours of free time with your family, sleep, taking care of yourself. Robin says that she was more efficient when they had naps and playground visits. I mean, I've seen that. It's like the nap time hustle. And also, if you take a bunch of pictures on Sunday and then you launch them throughout the week. But I would prefer you just be present with your kids and just do it at night or in the morning, and not do it. That's just me, because I feel like from my limited experience, I'm only working 17 minutes out of every hour when I'm with my kid. So it's really inefficient. And also, what if I'm making mistakes while I'm doing it because I'm thinking about her? I don't know if it's a good use. Let's see. Don, so people are talking about Don, the auction professor. He has a massive store. I wonder how many items are in his store. Let's see. Don, the auction professor. What's his eBay store? Let's see. Does anybody know what it's called? Let's see. He's been on eBay. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe somebody in the chat can put his eBay store and I'll check it out. It's massive. He has a huge store. 2C is asking. Go ahead. Marquee.
sorry. I think it's called Modern Marquee. I think he's got 35,000 items.
Okay.
Yeah, Modern Marquee, I think.
Okay. Let me look it up. Who's talking? Modern Marquee. Modern Marquee. Oh, 25,000 items in just this store. Yeah. A family of eBay. This store is huge. Massive.
He's the one-off king, I think. I don't know. He's crazy.
He's not the one-off king because we have the one-off king in our group. Modern Marquee. Thank you, everyone.
Awesome.
Because I think Tech and Sports is the one-off king because he does 10 times more volume than Don, the auction professor. So I mean, I guess it depends on what you define as of one-off king. Who has the most sales or who makes the most money? But also, 2C is talking about what's the most profitable category, what's the most profitable item. These are really silly questions because you can't get it. The most profitable item would be diamonds if you get them for free. The most profitable items are the items you get for free. So as far as if you're looking for profit margin, the most profitable category, it doesn't matter what category you're in. So this person is paralyzed by watching videos. They're watching video after video after video after video, but you need to go out and look for items and see what is in your area and what you're good at selling and develop some relationships. You can't find it by watching videos because even if I told you what the most profitable category is, you wouldn't be able to go find it. It's definitely precious metals and stones. That's the most profitable, smallest item. Oh, we want to put the link in the chat. I'll put the link in the chat to Don's store. This is Don's store right here. I'll put it in the chat for everyone to look at. What's up, my phone? Yeah, this store is huge. It's really impressive because, you know, George, you were talking about how difficult it is to list one-off items that are completely different. This store does that, but 25,000 times. Usually, but even this is very similar. Like, let's look at his store. Let's look at Don's store. It's not that different because you can see right away, right from the get-go, he's already got a couple of buttons, right? So I can see, let me look, 25,000 items. But honestly, look, it's not that many categories. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's 8 categories. It's not that many. Let's see. Maybe not. Oh, I'm sorry. Just 8 collectible categories. Let's see. Let me look at newly listed. Let's see what kind of stuff's going up. Buttons. See, this is cool. I can tell he's a pro because he's got, the photos are perfect. They all look exactly the same. That saves so much time doing everything uniformly. Same title setup. G51T must be where he stores the item, or G52T. This is his system for storage. He charges for shipping, very common for large stores. He's top rated plus. Let's see, what is this? Is this a photo? Oh, it's a card. See, excellent. He's got the size in the title. I think this is the best place to put measurements and sizing, in my opinion, because people may not scroll down here and look at this. They might just move on to the next one from right here. But this is an excellent store. Everything looks like uniform. It looks like he looks like a pro seller and is a pro seller. There's nothing garage sale-y about this. This looks like a retail, like a proper store. Look how the presentation is. This is insane. Look at this stuff. Vintage snapbacks. Wow. Massive. Ed, thoughts?
Yeah, this might be a topic for another time, but we talk in here quite a bit about, you said something about ROI.
Yeah.
But money ROI is fine, but maybe we should talk more about like the all-in time ROI.
time, or yeah, investment back on time.
Right, because like, we all love the thing you find for a buck and sell for 100, but we, myself included, we hardly ever include the hour it takes to list it.
Of course.
Might be a topic for another time. I don't know, but it's just like, I want to stop thinking in terms of just straight money ROI because it doesn't make any sense for us.
No, because it's not like stocks, right?
Right.
That would be.
It's not.
It's active income.
Right. I mean, like, like Tech, we always talk about him. Part of the reason his time RO is so good is because he lets go of the money in favor of really knocking out fast listings.
Can I chime in on that?
Yep.
So like my business is set up where I stop working on it. Like I only do it 3 hours and I list only 30 items. That's my goal. That's it. And then the rest of the other stuff of the day, I'm working on automation and how to reallocate capital and reallocate labor to streamline it so I don't have to be involved for the 3 hours. But going back to what Ed said is, I think it's two sides of the same coin, but you have to, I think at the end of the day, business has to make profits and it's actually on the money. And so if you look at through the lens of an operator, like a solopreneur or something like that, then yeah, the time component of how much energy you take to list it is important. But at the end of the day, like for me, I look at it at yield. So if I can turn the money twice and do a 8% effective rate, like yield or something like that, and you can park 200 grand, 300 grand in this business and you can float it through, that's good. And so if that's the thing that people want to do that. But I think on the other side is that if you need active income to live and pay for stuff, then you just got to do it and then look at your bank account and how much money you got, I think. Because, when I first started in business, that's what I looked at. But I'll end with this because I gotta get going. Is Chris, in the beginning, you brought up something that was really interesting because I hear it a lot, which is about passion. Right? People say, do the thing that you're passionate. And I have like kind of an adopted nephew and I tell him this. And, the term passion is a Latin word for paseo. And what people don't realize is that passion, paseo, means is to suffer. And so I'm not trying to become, passion of the Christ, right? Dying on the cross is to suffer. So people have it backwards where they think, oh yeah, I'm going to love something and I'm going to find something I enjoy and I'm going to go do that. And this is the business of my dream. And I'm just like, no, what are you willing to suffer and die for to actually build something? And if you look at through that lens, I think that's for me, that's what I do. Like whatever I do, I'm willing to die to build a system. So that way, if I die, my family can run this and I don't have to worry about it because my background is real estate and like that requires my intellectual capital and it's very hard to pass that on, That's my 2 cents.
No one's willing to die for eBay. Let's just be honest.
Well, I'm not saying die for eBay, right? But the thing that eBay,
no, I got you.
Right?
The sacrifice.
Yeah. And
people,
so
people aren't even willing to be uncomfortable for like 15 minutes for eBay. That's how little they're willing to sacrifice. So I get you.
Yeah. And it's going to show up on other stuff. Like for example, time component focus, right? Like I got timers on my thing, right? So I've been doing this for like decades. So I block work. And then I got one, I forgot someone in the Facebook group, I saw the clicker thing. So I have the clicker thing that I use and that's really it. I just take the information. But again, but if people are not willing to I'm willing to die for eBay to build it, right? Like whatever story you want to tell yourself, is it empowering or disempowering, And so that's my thing is just like, yeah, I'm willing to die for it and whatever it takes, can I throw something else in? It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think people have to realize I forgot who said it. It might have been you or was it Tekken, is that the marginal return as you get to a certain age of what you can improve on, right? The upside is you just have to start figuring out what it is. And then I'm kind of in the middle where I tell like, okay, I just got to focus on what I'm really good at. And so I think I've talked about like testing and finding out your own strength. And the one I use is called the Kobe test. And so I have literally everyone, I think I've said it before, is I take personality tests of everything, but the Wonderlic test is the daughter of the Wonderlic test, which is the NFL combine test. And the daughter created the Kobe test. And then the Wonderlic test, the NFL, quarterback that scored the highest is Tom Brady. And so if you look at through that lens, you can actually figure out if you're a natural born entrepreneur or not based on that. And then so my entire team and VAs, I've structured it where I put players in place to supplement my weakness. And so things like that truly helps. But you have to first get past the I can live, first, and then once you get beyond I can pay my bills, then you can do all the fancy stuff, but beyond that, like you just got to grind it out, I think, but that's anyways, I didn't realize what time it was. Thank you, everyone. I enjoy the information I get all the time. So
Thank you, everyone. Everyone get back to work.